Today I'm going to be working on a project that I've been talking about doing for quite a while, but I decided to finally get to it. The project I'm referring to is a scrap yarn blanket, and as you can see, there's a lot of scrap yarn or just ends of projects of yarn, and this is not even all of it. I've previously mentioned in a video which was talking about project inspiration using scrap yarn about how much I wanted to do a blanket that looks intentional and like I'm not using scrap yarn essentially. So I decided that today's the day, so let's begin this project. It's probably going to be one that I do over quite a long period of time, I would say, because the idea for this is I can kind of just pick it up as and when, and then slowly I will get towards that goal of a final blanket. Hey guys, I'm Jessie of Crochet by Jessie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, and let's get into today's video. A little bit of context for this project and what I'm planning to do. So as you can see, I have loads of yarn. The amount kind of differs. I feel like this is probably one of the biggest yarn cakes that I've got, but some of them are as small as this one here. So the plan is I'm going to be using the African flower granny square that I have done a tutorial for and a bag tutorial for this entirety of this project. I'm going to be using a different colour for each round for the square. I'm just going to grab and pick what I think looks nice, try and change things up a little bit, do a few wacky colour combos, and just make a hell of a lot of granny squares doing this. Another thing that I want to do is, if you guys want to take part in this as well with me, then comment some colour combinations in the comments below, and I will try to incorporate that into this next video, because I am going to do this as part of a mini series, because this is a lot of yarn and making a blanket takes a while, so this is not going to be done overnight at all. And just a warning, I have a feeling that my little cat Luna, who is currently looking at me like crazy, is probably going to jump up for some attention partway through. So if you see and or hear a cat, that's why. She's quite needy. Speak of the devil and she will arrive. You guys, I think this is the first time that you've had a Luna reveal. But this is my little crochet companion, aka my little Kit Kat, who is always with me as I'm crocheting, and she's just snuggling up to the blanket at my side. But I've done a bit of content on her, and I feel like I think she's just joining for the video actually. So, and she's making the bread. So this little one is my crochet partner in crime. She is beautiful. She likes to play with my yarn, she likes to sleep on my crochet, and she just likes to cuddle me whilst I'm trying to crochet, and she's a lap cat. So whilst I try to do crochet, she goes, no, I'm going to sit on your lap instead. So that's a little backstory to this little one who's probably going to be joining us in today's video. So first things first, we need to pick a colour palette for the first square. And I feel like I'm just going to mess around with this because I have so many different colours, and I have more than one yarn cake of specific colours, so I may hold out like one of these, but then I might have 3 of them. You just never really know. Each one of these squares I'm going to need 5 different colours, so I'm going to go through the selection process now and show you guys in a second what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've found my first colour palette that I'm going to do. These are the 5 colours. I feel like, I mean, some people may say that that's such a normal colour combination, but for me that's a little bit out there because I wouldn't really put them together for the most part, but I love projects like this because I'm kind of stepping outside of my box when it comes to, yeah, the colour palettes, creativity, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into making our first granny square. I've got all of my colours here ready in front of me. They look a little bit different as they're under some slightly better light. So this is what they look like, and it's just true to real life shading. And I'm just going to mess around. Don't really know what order I'm going to do it in. I am just going to be going as I fancy, not really thinking much as I do it. I feel like I'm going to save this one for the rounds where you need a little bit more yarn to use, just because I feel like I'm going to incorporate this across quite a few squares. So I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have more of this colour and use it as much as possible. I think I'm going to start with this green. Do excuse it because it used to be a yarn cake, and then because it's scrap yarn, it kind of just undoes itself when I inevitably drop it and it just rolls everywhere. So it used to look good. It used to look similar like this, but a smaller version. And now it doesn't. So good thing I'm using it up as quickly as I can because it does not look wonderful at the moment, but what can you do? So I've already made a bit of a start to the first round, the only round obviously using this colour. And if you guys like the look of this design as I'm doing it, I do have a tutorial for it already. It's one of those designs that I love because it looks really, really fancy, but it's not that difficult to do. And I love it. I think I've referred to that kind of project so many times, and I love calling it things like simple complexity or So, do you know what I mean? Something like that, where it looks so fancy, but then you're kind of sat there smug because it actually isn't that difficult to do. But you'll let people think for the most part that it is difficult because it feels good when it seems like it is and it isn't. So we've done 1, 2, need to make sure I've done this right as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just need one last cluster using this colour. And then I'll see which one I fancy after that. I feel like I'm going to change things up a bit with this palette, which is going to be fun. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clusters of 2, which is perfect. And then I'm going to choose the next colour that I want to work with. There we are, that little abrupt throwing of my scissors, sorry guys. Okay, so I've got this one. I feel like I'm going to use this colour next. It's kind of like a pinky burgundy. I've had this yarn for ages, genuinely cannot remember where I got it from or when, but I feel like it's been in my yarn stash for ages because I think I got an insane amount of it, used it for whatever project I was going to do, and then I just had loads of leftovers. And I've incorporated it into so many projects, but it just feels like it's a never-ending supply at the moment in my yarn stash. Okay, let's get this next colour added in. There we go. Yeah, already I'm happy with how these two colours look together, but it'll be interesting just seeing how the rest of the square comes together and how I'm going to have that many colour combinations. I might have to do what a lot of other creators have done, where you just have to like pick a number or roll a number and it just tells you what combinations you need to do. Because I feel like genuinely, if I have to do that much decision making by myself, I think I might go a bit crazy. So we will see. In part 2 of this mini series, I may have a specific method in how I choose the colorways, but yeah, we'll see. Another thing that I'm also probably going to do, I feel like I'm going to end up working on some more of these squares in my own time. So I'll give you guys a little update at the start of every video and just say, this is what I've done in the meantime since the previous video was filmed, all that kind of stuff, because I know what I'm like, and I post talking about things like this on my TikTok, and it's like when you fix in and you lock in on a project and then you finish it and you realise you did not film any of the stages where it's a work in progress. You literally just have a finished piece, and I do that all too much. So as long as I give you guys a little bit of warning saying expect to see some completely random squares that are finished that you've not yet seen before, then you guys will know what you're in for with me. Okay, finishing up this second round. How cute is this? I love it so much. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to have to see if I like the rest of my squares as much as I'm liking this one, because I don't want to be annoyed by my squares. I don't want to make it personal with them, but I get so funny with colour combos, so we will have to see. So that is how it's looking so far. Now I just need to plan my next colour. I'm thinking I'll go with this one next. Okay, yeah, I'm already happy that I chose this colour as my next one because I just feel like it's fun. You've got light, dark, light, and then I feel I need to decide. I feel like I might use this one next and then this one to line around it. We'll see. That's what's fun with this project. I feel like I can just wing it a lot more because I feel like that's the nature of projects like this. They kind of should be not as specifically organised or planned. And I feel like that's usually the total opposite for the kind of projects that I do. For example, the kind of project that I'm working on, my main work in progress at the moment, is a project that I'm currently designing, and the intention is it's going to be a crochet along for this spring, and it's mosaic crochet. And if any of you guys have seen my mosaic crochet videos or just know a little bit about it already, you'll know that mosaic crochet is so precise. And because of that, I'm just used to being very, very picky and very specific with the work that I do. So projects like this are actually quite satisfying because I can just relax a little bit more compared to how I usually am when I crochet. And yeah, it's fun getting to mess around with things as you go along, because that is so not the norm for me. So I'm literally just finishing the third round, and I've just realised that this is the colour that's going around for 2 rounds. So this is actually going to be the feature colour. I was going to do that one, but then I just kind of forgot where I was at in the pattern. So it gets to be the feature colour on a different square. And I feel like, yet again, that just reinforces the whole I'm just going along as I do it and just figuring out what the heck I want to do as I go on. Okay, I'm just going to join up this. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch into the space. There we are. Okay, so now I'm just going to be working on the main part of the petal. And I'm really looking forward to the next round, because personally the next round is actually my favorite in the design, because I really like how it makes the shape of the flower just look a little bit more noticeable and also make it more fancy, but with a really easy method, and I just appreciate that so much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I need 7. Then I'm going into the next space to do another 7. Honestly guys, I really cannot recommend this design enough. I just love it so much, and originally I was going to do a granny square blanket and just do regular granny squares, but then I thought, but I really like this design, so what's keeping me from doing a scrap blanket using this design? Just because I feel like it's really nice and fancy. Check this out guys. So I'm currently 3 petals out of, I think it's 8 done, and the shape is already developing really cute, but when I do this next round in this color, it just looks so cool. I just like how it defines each of the petals and really brings out like the flower detailing in the design, and I feel like it's just going to be so much fun working with so many different colors. And I'm going to have to do some kind of color randomizer thing, because yeah, I feel like it'll be fun, and I enjoy doing stuff like that because I like colour combinations that I usually wouldn't think of doing myself. So I'm going to have to incorporate that into this somehow. What I also love about this round is the previous round, the third one, kind of curls up a little bit, but after you're doing the fourth one, it just completely flattens it out, which I just think works perfectly for this design. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so I can now move into the next section. But yeah, I feel like this design I really love. It's definitely one where I have to pay a little bit of attention to just to make sure I don't mess up. But to be honest, I feel like once you get used to it, it's really not that bad. It's just making sure you're double checking and counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I need 2 more. I feel like this is going to be a really fun project where it's going to be really easy just to take some different scraps of yarn with me on like long journeys or anything, because I'm not going to have the entire project with me. It's not like I'm adding to it at this moment in time. I'm just making loads of squares. So it's going to be a really great on-the-go project that will just, at one point, I will join it all together and assemble it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1 more, and then we're on to the last section using this colour. 1, 2, 3. Want to make sure I don't mess it up this time, because sometimes I do and I don't crochet 7. Oh my goodness, I'm getting loads of fluff in my yarn as well. There we are. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect. And then I'm just going to do my little slip stitch, and then I'm going to do what is definitely my favorite round in this design next. Oh, it's so cute already. Can we appreciate how cool this color looks against the purple? I'm really trying to choose ones that are just going to stand out and look really bold, because I don't really, if I can avoid it, I mean, if it's one of those customized random generators and it tells me to do a color combo that's not so exciting, then so be it. But I'm going to try and avoid it as much as I can, so we'll see. Also, side note, if you heard Luna, apologies. She was in another room and then she decided that she just had to come back, so she was hollering at me. She's now in here and she may make her presence known by jumping up onto this table. You never really know what you're going to get with her. Okay. Let's just get this next section done. Can we appreciate, guys? This is what I mean. This is why I love it. Oh, there we are. Hi, Cat. Hello. Do you like all the yarn I'm using? Don't rub against the light, darling. You're going to blind yourself. What are you doing? She's so funny. Luna, am I allowed to do my crochet, please? This is the bit where she's going to start rubbing against me whilst I'm crocheting. No, do you know what? She's really fascinated by that light. You're not at all distracting, Luna. You're not at all distracting. Oh, hello. Honestly, guys, this is what I'm dealing with 90% of the time when I'm crocheting. And I just thought in today's video, I'll just let you guys know what she's usually like. There we are. Just, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay. The whole camera moved. How I normally manage to make this work is beyond me. I think she's just a little bit extra needy today. There we are. Okay, while she's out of the way, I can show you guys a little bit more. Look at this. This is why I prefer this round so much, because I feel like the actual design looks so much more like a flower once it's done. And yeah, I'm so pleased with it. Oh, hello again. And I just think it's going to work up very nicely with having this to square off the overall design. Okay, I'm just over halfway, and yeah, I'm so glad that I did do these colours together. This is fun because honestly, I really did just try to grab colours that I liked, that I thought would be nice, but just a little bit different. So already working on this first square, it's not a square that I would have typically gone with because I'm very much a person who likes similar palettes. So I put like blues together, blues and greens, purples together. I tend to like a full kind of like different shades. So like loads of different shades of green with maybe a cream or a white or something. So really messing around and choosing some crazy colours with all of the scraps that I have. It's really, really satisfying. Just finishing up this flower. I'm absolutely in love with it. See, I feel like this is going to happen every single time I make a new one where I'm like, I never would have thought of this colorway. I love it. And it's just going to be like an endless loop of me saying that. But at the end of the day, if that's how I feel, then that's a really fun project to be working on, if that's how I'm feeling the whole time. Okay, so literally at this stage, we're just using this color now, and we're going to create the border to make it actually square, because this would be quite fun to put together, but also quite hellish. So I definitely want to make it square to make my life a little bit easier. I'm getting into the final stages now of completing the first square, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I'll get your guys' opinion, but part of me is thinking I'm going to do all of the squares, and then I'm going to choose like one extra color just to do a tiny border around again, and then use to join it all together, like maybe a cream or something, just because I feel like that will help calm the overall project, give it a little bit more of a cohesive kind of nature to it. Plus I feel like cream goes with a lot. It goes with my room as well, because I've just done my room up and that's got a lot of cream in it too. Okay, let's just make sure that mentally I'm remembering what I'm meant to be doing because it'll be just my luck that I've totally forgotten. The amount of times that I actually watch my own videos to refresh myself of a pattern or a design, I feel like I do that all the time. Okay, 2 double crochet, that's right. And then trebles for the corners. I love that we do trebles for the corners for this design, just because I feel like it's fun to throw treble crochet into stuff. You don't do it enough, I feel. I love the jumpers that do it specifically, or they do like the whole design as trebles, just because I feel like you don't see that much. Maybe I'm living under a rock, maybe there's a lot of designs like that, but personally I just don't think I've really seen many of them. Okay, getting to the first decline of the corner. This is how it's looking. Oh, why do I feel like this is really feeling quite tropical because of these last 2 colours, and I'm absolutely loving it. A little bit of a jump just because this round is a little bit more fiddly, but look at that. I feel like I have actually done the right job with how I've placed it, because originally I did want this colour in this section here where the purple is, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad with how it's turned out. I feel like it's actually worked in my favour, because I feel like I actually prefer this distribution and the fact that the bluey turquoisey colour is on the outside. Yeah, I'm really happy with it, to be fair, but I don't have a whole lot left to do. And I'm actually really looking forward to this project overall. The more I'm thinking about it, I know I literally mentioned it 2 seconds ago, but I feel like I am going to use some kind of cream to just border the whole design, because yeah, that will look awesome. And if I can do it as a pop of colour in my room or just somewhere else, I feel like that will be a really good use of this project. I also want to note now that I know I was just talking about doing the random colour generator and picker and all of that, but honestly, still give me recommendations and colour combo ideas, guys, because I kind of would be quite happy to do a mix of both, to be honest. I feel like that would be really fun, and it'd be quite cool to get to just mention who gave me the colour palette idea, and yeah, just kind of go from there for the squares for the next video. Oh my goodness, I cannot finish this stitch to save my life. Okay, redoing that one. But yeah, I just feel like it would be really fun to get a bit of your input as well, just because I love projects that have the input from other people as well in them. I just feel like that makes a project way more exciting to me. So having family or friends choose colour palettes for things that I'm working on, I already really enjoy that. So I feel like it'd be really fun if you guys did the same thing as well. It could literally be your favourite colour combo. It doesn't even have to be like specific separate colours. You could literally say, oh, I love these 2 colours, and then I'll just see if I have different versions of those colours that you suggest, and I can incorporate all of them in there. So we'll see. I feel like that will be the best way to end up with as many different versions of squares as possible. Okay, I'm nearly finished with this one, guys. That's exciting. That's gone by very, very quick. Okay, final slip stitch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up and try and make it look a bit more square, because right now it does not look crazy square-like. There we are. That's a bit better. So that is square number 1 out of God knows how many done. I'm really happy with that. I feel like it is just going to be really interesting having loads of different colours. I was initially thinking of just doing like more bold colours or just really bright colours, but I feel like I want to get some browns involved as well, especially if I'm going to do a border of cream. But I'm probably going to avoid using black and grey and maybe white. Maybe I'll include white, but probably not. We'll see. So this is the first square that is done for this blanket. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And for the next videos onwards from this mini series, I'm going to be choosing the colour palettes based off of the comments in the comment section from you guys, just giving me inspo ideas, what kind of palettes you would like to see in the squares. And I'm probably going to do a random colour generator or picker or something like that, just to pick out my colours as well. But as far as it goes, I'm very happy with this being the first one out of this entire project, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we end up with. If you guys enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content like this, but you're not already subscribed, then please do consider doing so. Please press the bell as well to be notified when my next video is up, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm really looking forward to how this mini series goes, and I cannot wait to show you guys all of my progress until we end up with a finished blanket. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.